Good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1. With a lot going on in the country, it is a must that we report and for you to decide that you stay informed. You're here with me, Sandro Satyajit, and before we go into your news in detail, first, your headlines.
Hospital services crippled as doctors across 4 provinces go on strike against tax policy. University teachers and school teachers issue warning to the government. Decision on future trade union action against tax regime to be announced this evening. Foreign Minister to attend Commonwealth Day Celebrations. Michelle Yeoh becomes first ever Asian actress to win Best Actress at Oscars.
Now to your news in detail. Government hospital waiting rooms were empty Monday morning as patients were turned back due to a strike launched by the Government Medical Officers Association against the government's new tax regime. Now, the strike is in effect across western, southern, central and eastern provinces.
The Professionals Trade Union Collective is spearheading the trade union action, and it is supported by at least 40 government and semi-government trade unions against the government's new tax regime, the bank interest rate hike, salary and wage anomalies and several other demands. Doctors across 4 provinces in Sri Lanka, namely the western, southern, central and eastern provinces, went on strike with effect from 8 a.m. against the government's tax policy. Patients who visited the Colombo National Hospital for treatment were severely inconvenienced by the strike action. Only emergency treatment services were in operation from 8 a.m. at the National Hospital. Patients who visited the Kalubowila Teaching Hospital were severely inconvenienced by the strike action as well. Gampaha District General Hospital only carried out emergency services. This is the situation at the Kalutara Teaching Hospital today. OPD and clinical treatment services were not in operation at the Karapitiya Teaching Hospital from 8 a.m. But many people had arrived at the hospital for treatment. The doctors of the Karapitiya branch of the Government Medical Officers Association said that the hospital only treats patients in critical condition, accidents and emergencies. Many patients visited the Mathura General Hospital from 5 a.m. However, OPD services were not carried out as a result of the strike action. Meanwhile, specialist doctors have also joined the trade union action against unfair taxers. In a statement, the Association of Specialist Doctors says that it will refrain from engaging in private medical services except in case of emergency.
The Government Medical Officers Association, convening a media briefing in Colombo this morning, stated that the government still has a chance to find a suitable solution for the new tax policy.
If the government gives a solution with a time frame within the day, we will not have to continue our trade union action tomorrow. However, based on the current circumstances, we will have to proceed with our plan and execute trade union action in the Vayamba, Uva, Sabaragamuwa, Northern and North Central provinces at 8 a.m. tomorrow. If we do not get a solution by tomorrow either, we will have to go for an island-wide continuous strike at 8 a.m. the day after tomorrow. Even now, the ball is in the court of the rulers. We have suggested alternative methods of solving our problems while gradually increasing the country's income. We do not want to intensify our trade union action and inconvenience patients. But if the ruling parties make us do this, then this is what we will have to do.
The strike action launched by university teachers against the tax amendments is in effect on Monday as well for the 5th consecutive day. The strike was launched in line with the trade union action launched by the Professionals Trade Union Collective against what they view as an unjust tax regime imposed by the government of Sri Lanka. Professor Shyama Bannahaka, the chairman of the Federation of University Teachers Associations, told Newsfirst that activities across all state universities were crippled as a result of the strike. Academic activities at the Open University of Sri Lanka, located in Navala, did not take place due to the strike.
ආදනයි ගැනීම කටයුත්තක් සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. වෙනද ළමයි 500ක් 600ක් කැම්පස් එකට දිනපත ආවා. අද ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන ළමයි 50කට වගේ මේ පිරිසක් තමයි ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ අධ්‍යයන කටයුතු වෙන්නේ නැති නිසා තමයි මේ ළමයි ඒකේ පැමිණීම අඩු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. පාලන අධිකාරිය තමයි මේවට වක් කියන්න ඕනේ.
Bank employees also supported the trade union action against the new tax policy by reporting to work in black. Employees at the Bank of Ceylon branch in Kurunegala reported to work in black. State Bank employees also reported to work in black in Gaul. A similar situation was experienced in Valimada as well. The Water Supply Joint Trade Union Alliance also supported the trade union action. Executive grade officers and others stepped away from their duties. Trade unions attached to the Postal Service also supported the trade union action. All Ceylon Nurses Union General Secretary HMSB Medivatta said that the union will join the strike from the 15th of March. The Teachers and Principals Trade Union Alliance added that it too will join the strike on the 15th of March.
The Ceylon Teachers Union called a press conference today and informed about the trade union measures that they are expecting to take.
We will be joining the trade union action the day after tomorrow, citing multiple reasons. This has already been organized across the entire school system, that is 10,172 schools island-wide. We have given written notice to provincial education directors and the Secretary of the Education Ministry regarding the trade union action. We must clearly state that we will not be taking part in any activity coordinated by the ministry or zonal officers. This trade union action is being taken to show that this government, which came to power without a people's mandate, is not capable of giving solutions to the people's problems. They still have not responded to the questions raised by those who will be executing the trade union action. They cannot do so. This is a very important point in history, where the working class people across the country unite. So we must tell the government to understand what the working class people are trying to tell them through this strike. If not, until our needs are fulfilled, we will be resorting to strict trade union action.
On to other news in detail now. The Colombo port workers have also commenced a work to rule campaign against the tax amendment.
Saying that they're restructuring, the government is selling profiting organizations, including the electricity board, and reducing the number of employees. That is why we're gathering today. We will become more powerful by the day. If there is still no solution, all trains will stop functioning by the 14th midnight. Electricity will not be supplied by the 14th. Doctors, the university system, health system, fuel system, and bank system will stop functioning. Let's do this and see if the government will stay on or resign, or if the government will have to be overthrown. The decision will be made by the 15th. If you are truly with the people, revise the tax formula. Reverse the interest formula. Take it all back. Reduce the increased electricity tariff hikes. Make this country peaceful again.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Ali Sabri will attend the Commonwealth Day Celebrations today at the Commonwealth headquarters in London.
Commonwealth Day marks the 10th anniversary of the signing of the Commonwealth Charter that outlines the values and aspirations uniting the Commonwealth member countries. The member states will support the Commonwealth of National Flag for Peace initiative in symbolizing these values, and the celebrations will end with a reception hosted by King Charles III to the visiting foreign ministers. Minister of Foreign Affairs Ali Sabri will participate in the 22nd Commonwealth Foreign Affairs Ministers meeting at the Commonwealth headquarters, Marlborough House in London on the 15th of March. On the sidelines of these events, Minister Sabri will have a call on the Right Honourable James Cleverly, Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth Development Affairs, bilateral meetings with Right Honourable Patricia Scotland, King's Counsel, Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Anne-Marie Trevelyan, Minister of State for Indo-Pacific for Foreign, Commonwealth Development Affairs, among others. Ministers of Foreign Affairs of Rwanda, Kenya, Pakistan and Malaysia are expected to have bilaterals with Foreign Minister Sabri during his visit to London.
Colombo mayoral candidate Mujibur Rahman says that the government is trying to postpone the local government election because defeat is certain.
Ranil Wickremesinghe is trying to delay these elections. He does not want to hold an election because he knows he will lose. He blames the judiciary and is also trying to intimidate the courts. The Rajapaksas also did the same thing to Shirani Bandaranayake. What happened? They tried to interfere with the Supreme Court and were sent home. If Wickremesinghe tries to interfere with the Supreme Court, you too will have to go home soon. Mujibur Rahman expressed these views while joining a public meeting of the Samagi Jana Balawegaya held in Maligawatta last night.
On to some other news now. The Department of Immigration and Immigration said that MP Mahindananda Alutgamake was turned back from the Bandar Naik International Airport on Friday as another person's data was added to the system instead of the MP's passport data. Now, Harsha Ilukpetia, the Controller General of the Immigration and Immigration Department, stated that the travel ban list came into effect after the wrong data was added to the system. The officer who added the wrong data into the system has been suspended pending inquiry. Now, the Criminal Investigation Department and the Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team are conducting further investigations into the matter. On to other news now. Sri Lanka's farmers have been left in dire straits as they are unable to sell their produce for a reasonable price.
The Maha-season paddy harvest is being reaped in the Vadigavawa and Patokwawa areas in Madirigiriya in the Polonnaruwa district, and according to the farmers, the harvest this time is lesser than what was reaped before. In addition to the low harvest, the farmers are also in a position where they cannot even sell their produce for a fair and reasonable price. The fate of the farmers of the Ikiriyagod area in Ridhiyamaliyadda in the Badula district is not second to this. Farmers say that their crops are getting destroyed due to the use of low-quality fertilizer.
Meanwhile, train operations along the main railway line were restored following a derailment. The Yaldevi train operating from Fort Colombo to Anuradhapura delayed in Urukodavatta on Monday morning. Sri Lanka Railways said that several fasteners, a railway track component, had been removed and stolen, resulting in the derailment. In news overseas, the 95th annual Oscar celebrations took place at the Dolby Theatre in Los Angeles, California. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was the favorite to dominate this year. At Once took home as well the top prize for the Best Picture, along with wins for director and 3 major acting categories.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. nominated for 11 Academy Awards.
Winning Best Picture at the Academy Awards, Everything Everywhere All at Once capped off a groundbreaking awards season and became the most awarded Best Picture winner since 2008's Slumdog Millionaire. Michelle Yeoh took home the Best Actress award, becoming the first Asian woman and only second woman of color to win the trophy. The film also won Best Picture and Best Director and Best Original Screenplay for writers and directors Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. Everything Everywhere took home 7 Oscars on Sunday night, including Best Picture, Director, Original Screenplay, Lead Actress, Supporting Actor and Editing. The Best Actor award this year was won by Brendan Fraser for his performance in the film The Whale. The song Natu Natu from the hit Telugu language film RRR has made history by becoming the first Indian film song to win an Oscar. The Elephant Whisperers made history by becoming the first Indian documentary to win an Oscar. It won Best Documentary Short Film at the 95th Academy Awards, beating contenders like Stranger at the Gate and How Do You Measure a Year. Brendan Fraser cemented his comeback with a Best Actor win for The Whale, while Everything Everywhere stars Jamie Lee Curtis and Ke Huy Quan picked up Best Supporting Actress and Best Supporting Actor respectively. Netflix's All Quiet on the Western Front was the night's other big victor, taking home Best International Feature, Best Cinematography, Best Production Design and Best Original Score. Other winners included Women Talking for Best Adapted Screenplay, The Whale for Best Makeup and Hairstyling, and Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio for Best Animated Feature.
Making global headlines for weeks now, 500,000 Israelis took to the streets in the 10th consecutive week of protests against plans by the government of Benjamin Netanyahu to overhaul the country's judicial system. Now, Israel has a population of just over 9 million, so if the organizers' estimates are correct, about 5% of Israelis came out to voice their opposition to the proposed reforms.
The organizers said nearly half of the protesters, about 240,000, gathered in Tel Aviv. In Jerusalem, several hundred demonstrators gathered in front of President Isaac Herzog's house. They carried Israeli flags and chanted slogans including "Israel will not be a dictatorship." On Thursday, Herzog, whose role is largely ceremonial, urged the Netanyahu government to take the judicial overhaul legislation off the table. Protesters and critics of Netanyahu's plans say it would weaken the country's courts and erode the judiciary's ability to check the power of the country's other branches of government. The package of legislation would give Israel's parliament, the Knesset, the power to overrule Supreme Court decisions with a simple majority. It would also give the government the power to nominate judges, which currently rests with a committee composed of judges, legal experts and politicians. It would remove power and independence from government ministries, legal advisors and take away the power of the courts to invalidate unreasonable government appointments, as the High Court did in January, forcing Netanyahu to fire Interior and Health Minister Aryeh Deri.
The US government has said that people and businesses who have money deposited with failed US bank Silicon Valley Bank will be able to access all their cash from Monday. A statement from the U.S. Treasury, the Federal Reserve and Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation (FDIC) said depositors would be fully protected. The taxpayer will not bear any losses from the move. According to the statement, the Silicon Valley Bank was shut down by regulators who seized its assets on Friday. It was the largest failure of a U.S. bank since the financial crisis in 2008. The move came as the firm, a key tech lender, was scrambling to raise money to plug a loss from the sale of assets affected by higher interest rates. As part of their move to restore confidence, regulators also unveiled a new way to give banks access to emergency funds. The Federal Reserve said it would offer assistance through a new bank term funding program, which makes it easier for banks to borrow from it in a crisis. President Joe Biden said the American people could have, quote, confidence that their bank deposits will be there when they need them, unquote. Silicon Valley Bank was seen as the crucial lender for early-stage businesses in the tech sector. It was the banking partner for nearly half of U.S. venture-backed technology and healthcare companies that listed in stock markets last year. Now, New Zealand have won the first test against Sri Lanka at Christchurch by 2 wickets thanks to an unbeaten second innings century by Kane Williams. The Black Caps resumed day 5 on 28 for 1, needing a 257-run win to win the game. Kane Williamson on strike with Black Caps was seen as the favourites to win the game. However, the Sri Lankan bowlers did not make it easy as well for the hosts. Now, New Zealand lost 7 wickets in their chase on day 5. Earlier, Sri Lanka batting first posted a 355-run score in their first innings, to which the hosts replied with 302 runs. Thereafter, Sri Lanka posted 373 runs for their second innings, giving New Zealand a 285-run chase.
Test 100 number 21. Oh, it's missed. He's out. If he hits, he's out. He's safe. Oh, double play. Double play. We're going upstairs. Oh, he's home. He's safe.
Looking forward to the big screen with my decision.
It's New Zealand home in a thriller. An absolute thriller, a famous victory, not out. Oh, New Zealand, despite the rain and a plucky performance from Sri.
That's all the news for now. Bringing you the news from the news desk. This is Sandro Satyajit signing off. Await the brief at 30 throughout the day for more news in brief. Take care.